Hello, welcome to the Device Pulse AI walkthrough. First of all, we are starting our walkthrough from Setup Device Pulse page where you can set up your Device Pulse web application. uh, in the first step, as you can see, you can connect the data streams, which means from the first step you can onboard your devices. In the second step, you can define the success criteria. It simply means you can define your test cases for your onboarded devices. And in the step 3, you can start monitoring based on the test cases that you have created. So I'll guide you through. In the step 1, as you can see, at the moment we are supporting two IoT platforms, which is Sensematica and Azure IoT. Sensematica is like our own platform, IoT platform, where you can host your devices uh, to in a devices, and you can onboard them via Sensematica to Device Pulse AI. For Azure also, we are supporting in Azure. We are supporting at the moment Cosmos DB. uh, via Cosmos DB. Like if you have any devices onboarded in Azure IoT, our system is pretty much capable of onboarding. That means connecting your devices with DevicePulse.ai. Next up, we'll go to step 2. In step 2, you'll be defining success criteria. I'll come to this test batch. So first of all, you have to select your data streaming method. It can be Azure or Sensematica at the moment. And also from here, you can select the test batch. What is a batch actually? So when you are onboarding devices, let's say you are connecting to the Sensematica stream, and you're onboarding few devices, let's say 5 devices. For that 5 devices, we are considering it as a batch of devices that you have onboarded. So for this you can give a name for this batch, and that batch is the one that referenced here. So let's say you onboarded 5 devices and you added a name like a BP monitors or something like that, blood pressure monitors or something like that. So in here, when you select the Sensematica stream, as you can see, like I have already created a batch called BP monitor underscore 001. So you can select that batch. So when you select that batch, so the system will allow you to add a main test case and a sub test case also. The main test case is like the issue that you're going to track down. So let's say the battery condition, something like that. So I'll add like, or as the blood pressure irregular reading, let's say blood pressure, something like that. So yeah, blood pressure irregular reading. So how, like, this is the issue that we are going to track down. And here from the subtest cases, what we are doing is we are defining how we can track down that particular issue. Let's say we add irregular irregular pressure. So here you have the parameters. What are these parameters? Actually, the parameters, this drop down is getting these parameters from the devices that we have onboarded under this particular batch. So in this batch, we have BP monitors, so blood pressure monitors. So in the blood pressure monitor, it can have several sensors, right? So those sensors will be listed down in this particular drop down. So as you can see, all the sensors related to the devices in this particular batch are listed down here. So here we are checking the irregular pressure, right? So for that one, we go, yeah, systolic BP will go there. And here you can add a success criteria. So you can check like how many number of data that the device have sent for device has sent, or else you can add greater than or equal, and etc. So for this one, I'll just choose something like is between. You can add a min value here, minimum value, and also maximum value. So what the system going to check is, every time the system receive a data, like it's going to check in this particular sensor whether the value is in between 90 and 180. If it is not in the range, it going to consider this device as a failed device. Then the rest will happen. I'll explain what is rest. Okay, so I'm not going to create this because I have already create a similar test case for this particular batch. So I'll just go back from here and go to the step 3. So now you have created the success criteria. Now you have to run the test. So here you have the data streaming method. Like in the step 2, I'll select this one, and this is the batch that you have to select. And here, yeah, this is the one that I created earlier, blood pressure, irregular pressure. So here also I have added this in between, so that for the testing method you have to choose this continuous testing. So a continuous testing, which is like a once you start this test, like it's going to continuously uh, uh, run as long as the system is there. So repeat every, so this is like the alert schedule. So as an example, so let's say there's an issue in the device, right? So it takes some time to fix that issue. Just take some time to fix that issue. So like what you can do is, so let's say once the issue has been occurred, you can add a schedule here. Let's say I'll add something like 30 minutes and 30 minutes, which means, okay, so at now the time is 5:36. Okay, now let's say there's a failed reading for the 5:36, failed reading for the at 5:36. Then like the system going to wait for like another 30 minutes, that means 6:06. It's going to check again whether there's a fail at after 6:06 only. The system going to check again whether there's a fail. I mean, like they are registering all the data, but like when it comes to sending alerts, it's going to check at 6:06 whether there's a failed test case. So failed test case, according to this, the irregular blood pressure, that means whether there's a reading for the systolic BP which is not in range 90 and 180. So yeah, that's what alert schedule means. So for your reference, actually I created a test also, running test. So I'll show you what's going on and like how you can read the system and what are the readings that you can get, and after getting a reading, what are the things that you can do to troubleshoot this issue, those kind of things in the dashboard.